Clay, how do you evaluate your outing tonight?
Yeah, I mean, they got the the traffic there in the first, and they were able to put up 2 runs there, which kind of put us behind early, and it really had to be perfect there on out. I think made a bad 2-strike pitch to Bader there, and then the 2 back foot sliders just created the traffic there in the first. Yeah, and then two balls got to the infield, but at that point we're playing from behind, and these games mean a lot, so you can't really afford to have those mistakes there.
How do you evaluate the room right now and the temperature of the guys?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's working. Obviously we know where we're at. We know that really is we just gotta play good baseball. And I think when you see the guys, how they're preparing and working, and just how people are talking, people want to figure this out and really put our best baseball in front of us. I think there's a belief that we will, but things got to turn. We got to start making it one game at a time and playing a little bit better here. But we know what's ahead of us, and I think we're doing all we can to show up the next day and put everything we have into it.
Clay, like you said, everyone here's obviously working. If you look around the room, this is clearly one of the more talented rosters in all of baseball. Why do you think it hasn't come together as consistently as you guys would have hoped?
I don't know. It's a tough question. I think if we had a few more answers, maybe maybe we wouldn't be in this position. But and there's no doubt. I mean, we're super talented. We still believe we have what it takes. And I think there's part of the game where the times like these it can be tough because there's definitely a lot of noise, a lot of it's part of the game where they can just affect maybe the way what you're trying to do, or one way or the other. I think sometimes when there's a lot of noise around it, you gotta kind of really just know who you are, the things that we that we can believe in, that we continue to do, that's going to have success. I think players are there. We know what we're capable of, and I think it's just finding that groove and sparkling momentum. I think we see it all the time in baseball. There's things can switch in a hurry, but I think there's still that belief, and all it takes is one little spark, and you never know what kind of run you go on.
Like for you, what's the level of frustration? You look like you were sort of turning a corner with a couple longer outings, and then the last 2 have been a bit shorter again.
Yeah, I think it's just when you start getting the the 5th, 6th inning of these games, and we're close. I mean, you can't really afford to make mistakes. And really, it's just finishing off those outings. A couple of guys get on. We have a great bullpen, and it's hard not to trust those guys. And it's just one of those things. As a starting pitcher, down the stretch here, you got to be good, and you got to get better as the game goes on, really. And it just comes down to execution. When you start seeing guys a couple times, the game's close, you got to bear down and make good pitches and execute. And I think that's what it comes down to.
Is there a threat or a risk of trying to be too perfect in those situations?
There's definitely that line. I mean, you really have to have a plan, I think. Whatever it comes down to, I think if you have a plan, you know what you can live with. It just comes down to executing that. Sometimes you don't want to be with certain guys. Sometimes you need to be more aggressive. But I think as long as you have a plan of attack and you kind of know what you want to do, it's not going to work out every time, but at least there's something there that you know what you're trying to do and you're trying to accomplish there.
Francisco, why do you think that you guys have had, a number of stretches like this so far this season?
We haven't been consistent. It's one of those years that things haven't clicked for a long time. It's in baseball you have ups and downs, and those are guarantees. You try to limit the downs, and you try to ride them the high as long as you can. And for some reason, it's been a very wavy season. You know, we're still in a position that we can make the year look completely different. And everyone here, it's pushing towards that, fighting to try to get on that wave and just ride it as long as we can. You know, it's basically the game of momentum, and when we haven't been able to capitalize on the times that we have had the momentum.
You know, everybody across the board here is saying that everybody in this room is doing the right things and has the right approach and mindset. So how do you, when the results aren't there but the process is there, go about digging out of this before it's too late?
You just got to stay optimistic. You got to fight for each other, like everyone here is doing. But at the end of the day, we just got to play better. I have to play better. You know, I haven't got a hit this series, and this late in the year, I got to get on base and I got to help the team. You know, like P's having good at bats, Nemo's having good at bats, Soto's having good at bats. I have to be better for this team because, like I said, at the end of the year, it comes down to playing baseball the right way.
Francisco, we've been having a lot of these same kind of questions a lot of the year. Are you surprised that this is sort of the same situation as we were talking about in August and July and June?
No.
Why not?
Because it's baseball. You know, you can't really look that far ahead. We have a good team. The bottom line, it's just we just haven't played at the standard that we all have for each other here. You know, it's one of those that it's tough. You know, it's a tough question to answer because I wish I had the answers. You know, it comes down to execution, and from my point of view, from my standpoint, I haven't executed. I haven't helped this team to carry the momentum that we have had before.
What do you think it's going to take for you guys to play with some consistency through these next 15 games or however many are left? Is it focus level? Is it, you know, getting a little more fired up? Just what is there anything you guys can sort of like dig deep to find?
No, I mean, everybody's focused, everybody's prepared. The coaches are preparing us. They're giving out all the information. We know what we got to do. We just got to get it done at the same time, you know. It doesn't matter how much talent we have. We play in big league teams on the other side as well, and they have talent too, and they're good teams. And it comes down to us, to the players, to execution. You know, we got to execute, and I myself, I have to execute and be much better than what I have.
Players talk about the benefit of playing loose. Do you guys feel like maybe you're tensing up a little bit at all?
No, not really. I mean, everybody here before the game, you guys come in and there's music, there's good vibes. You know, everybody's just going out, practicing, doing their thing, and throughout the game, we are there for each other. We play with intensity. We support each other. You know, it's just like I said. Bottom line, they have executed and we haven't, and that's it happened at our field. We executed and they didn't. Now they're executing and we're not. So, you know, we just got to be better.